Here we're dealt king queen offsuit under the gun +1. I raised to 150 after the neighbor to our right straddled from under the gun. The middle position player, the button, and the under the gun straddler all call. Each of our opponents has a nip button in front of them, but we've already gotten rid of ours since it's only a few hands after we got the win with pocket eights. We're going 4 ways to the flop. We'll have to tread carefully. It comes jack 6 deuce with 2 spades. We completely whiff. Navigating post flop should be pretty easy. All players check. The turn is the king of spades, giving us top pair, but it completes the flush draw. Under the gun checks. He'd be the most likely person to have us beat with a flush, but now that he's checked turn, it's less likely. Still, I check for pot control and to possibly induce a bluff from someone trying to get rid of their nip button. The middle position player and the button check back. Our king is almost certainly the best hand. The river is the 7 of diamonds, completing nothing. Like me, when it came to the homework I was assigned for AP Spanish the summer before my senior year. La Ciega Pequeña checks for a 3rd time, indicating that he's got trash since there's no reason to think anyone's going to start betting when the 7 comes out. We have the green light to go for value. It's tough to get a hand worse than a king to call us though. That's why I make a somewhat small wager at 300. We can maybe get called by 2nd or 3rd pair. We might even induce a bluff raise from people who perceive this sizing as weak and want to take their opportunity to avoid losing the nick game. The middle position player folds. The button isn't interested in looking us up. After brief deliberation, he folds. It's down to the under the gun straddler. I'm sure he's wondering how I checked flop and turn, but I'm all of a sudden comfortable betting when the 7 of diamonds comes on the river. It probably looks like I've got either pocket 7s, or more likely something without much value. Under the gun surprisingly check raises to 1700. I don't know what to possibly put him on after checking 3 times and now blasting. We've got one of the best hands that we'll have. It'd be nice to be holding a spade in our hand, but given how we played this hand so far and being up against someone who has quite a bit of extra incentive to win a pot and get rid of their nip button, we're going to be looking him up. I call. The under the gun player has us crushed with queen 5 of spades. He turned the 2nd nuts. He was lying in the weeds and trapped me good. His line was suspect, but his patience pays off for him. Nearly everything I just won with pocket 8s is gone. Next we look down at ace-jack offsuit under the gun +1. I raised to 125. The big blind calls. We're heads up in position. The flop comes ace-jack 4 with 2 clubs. We've got top 2 pair. It's been a long time since we've gotten a flop this good. The opponent checks. We're able to bet for value, which has been a rare occurrence in hold'em hands. I bet 200. We want to charge all pairs, straight and flush draws. The big blind calls. We've got a repeat customer. The turn is the ace of hearts, giving us a full house. The big blind checks. This is our time to win a large amount of money. I bet 600 in an attempt to build the pot. Maybe I went too large, or maybe I didn't go large enough. The big blind isn't all that concerned about the sizing. He calls. He may have trips, a worse full house, or a combo draw. The river is the queen of clubs. The royal flush gets there, and ace queen improves to beat us as well. The big blind checks. We're going to target a variety of strong combos that's likely the big blind is holding, including flushes, trips, and bad boats. I bet 2,000. We don't make full houses often. When we do, we want to make the maximum. It's possible that our opponent only has a jack. He can't justify calling. He folds. We're not able to make quite as much as we'd hoped with our monster, but it's fun to have a big hand and take down a decent sized pot. Let's keep him coming. In this one, we've got 8-7 hearts under the gun +1. The straddle's on. I raised to 150. There's a nip game running at the moment. We won a hand earlier to get rid of our nip button, but the button has his. He 3-bets to 450. There's the same opponent who beat us early on in a 3-bet pot with 8-7 of clubs. He's now switched seats after taking an extended break. I still remember what he did to us, and we have no choice but to get revenge. It'll be even sweeter to do it with the same hand that he got us with. I call for 300 more. We're heads up out of position. The flop comes 9-6-6 rainbow. We've got an open-ended straight draw and backdoor flush draw. I check. The opponent needs to win this pot in order to get rid of his nip button because there are only a few players left with theirs. He bets 400. The opponent's 3-bet range won't connect all that well with this flop. Quite frankly, neither of ours will smash this, but there's a higher than normal probability that the opponent has nothing and is trying to win with air. I contemplate check raising. If I really had a strong hand though, I'd probably check raise the turn. I call with revenge fueled plans for the turn if we don't improve. The turn is the queen of clubs. It's not great to see a high card come out when we're not the pre-flop aggressor, but we can still have combos containing a queen. I check. Our straight draw is no longer as strong. Even if we hit the 10, we lose to king jack. The button bet's 900. I've played mostly snug up to this point. I haven't shown down any big bluffs or gotten out of line. I think it's about time that we cash in on the solid image that we've cultivated with hitting a straight as a safety net. I check raised to 3,200. We're representing monsters like trip sixes, nines, or potentially even queens full. Mostly, I'm just attacking the button's wide 3-bet range when we know that he's in need of winning a pot. We don't have a nip button in front of us, which should drastically help our credibility in this instance. The button doesn't have a hand that he wanted to get check raised by. He folds. We get our bluff through and play Nick game defense that the 85 bears would be proud of. The table asks to see my hand. We show that we were making a move with 8 high. It turns out I'm just as crazy, or maybe even more than those ex-girlfriends I alluded to earlier, and they set the bar pretty high. We pick up ace queen suited over 2 hours later into the next morning with another Nick game on. We're playing 7-handed. I've double straddled to 100 from under the gun +1. The opponent on our left raises to 300. He's already won a hand and doesn't have the nip button in front of him, whereas we do. The under the gun straddler calls. Calling or 3-betting are both reasonable options. I call to close the action. 3 of us are seeing the flop. It comes Jack 5 deuce with 1 club. We mostly miss, although we've got 2 overs and plenty of backdoor draws to make things interesting. Under the gun checks. I check to the initial pre-flop raiser. There's a pretty dry board with 1 face card, so the opponent on our left is comfortable c-betting. He wagers 500. It's a little more than I was looking to spend on this flop, but after under-repping our hand a bit pre-flop, I'm okay sticking around for 1 more street. Under the gun calls, giving us a better price. There are quite a few good cards that could come out for us. I call 1 time to see what develops. That's a line I use a lot right before getting into a lot of trouble. The turn is the 4 diamonds, giving us a straight draw. Under the gun checks. This is ordinarily a card that'll benefit us the most after we close the action pre-flop, defending our double straddle with a nip button in front of us. We're the only one that'll have 6-3 suited. We can have all kinds of 2-pair combos as well as multiple straight combos. In fact, we have removal to ace-3, plus we have removal to other strong hands like aces, queens, ace-jack, and queen-jack. I bet 2,000 to rep 2-pair or better. If the hijack has any 1-pair hand, he'll likely fold knowing that he could be drawing dead, and he has to not only worry about me, but he has another player still in as well, who could have sets or a straight. After 30 seconds, the hijack folds. He almost certainly had a better hand, maybe even top pair. Under the gun can't continue for the price that we made it. He also folds. We have to show our cards, get rid of our nip button. The table's probably surprised to see our hand for multiple reasons, the main one being that we started out with a premium. We never find out what the hijack folded, but under the gun lets us know that he parted ways with pocket 7s, knowing there weren't going to be any good rivers for him. It's Nick game time again. We've got ace-queen offsuit 5-handed in the big blind. This is the first hand of the Nick game. The number of players at the table is dwindling as a lot of people have called it a night. Not us though. The baby's asleep at home. This is prime time grind time. Under the gun raises to 100. There's the same opponent that we flatted ace-queen suited against previously when we closed the action pre-flop. This time, we're going a different route. I 3-bet to 600. I like to go larger with my sizings when the Nick game is on to disincentivize players from getting involved. Under the gun isn't bothered though. He 4-bets to 1300. He started the hand with 8800 total. You may think that I'm 3-betting light, which could have induced a light 4-bet from him. Ace-queen is potentially the best hand, or maybe we're flipping with something like jacks. It's also possible that we're crushed by ace-king or kings. I'm not inclined to call and play a 4-bet pot out of position. The bottom line is we're 5-handed with a Nick game on, late in the session. If we're crushed, it may just be our time to go home.
I grew up in a broken home.
A 5-bet rip it for almost $9,000 effective. We don't get snap called like we would have if the opponent had aces, kings, queens, or ace-king. Our play has to look particularly strong after we showed that we didn't even 3-bet ace-queen suited in a similar situation previously. The opponent isn't happy. Under the gun's in agony. It feels a lot like he has the same hand as us, or maybe he has a smaller pocket pair we're a slight underdog against. He's taken a very long time thinking about this one. I'd be happy to get a fold and not have to take this to a run out. Under the gun can't find the call. He folds. We win his 1300 without having to make a pair. We have to show what we 5-bet jammed with. It's a lot more money than I really wanted to invest, but with all the dynamics at play, it felt like the best move to simplify things for us. Under the gun isn't unhappy with his decision. It turns out he 4-bet us with ace-jack offsuit. If we had just called, it might have been tough for us to win from out of position against him without improving, and we almost got our 5-bet rip called by worse. A new Nick game ensues as we approach 2 in the morning. We've got ace-10 offsuit in the cutoff with the straddle on. I raised to 200. Only 3 of us have nip buttons, including the button, who we just 5-bet jammed on. He can't let us win. He 3-bets to 700. The button has shown that he has the ability to 3-bet light in other hands that I've seen him show down, especially when the Nick game is on, so I really don't want to fold. I don't quite feel like 4-betting either. I call for 500 more. We're heads up out of position. The flop comes 10-9-6 with 2 spades. We've got top and likely the best hand. I check. It could be a scary flop for the button, knowing that we can have all kinds of combos that are top pair or better, including a straight and sets. He checks back. He could have us beat, but it seems unlikely. The turn is the 4 of clubs. It's a nice blank for us. We don't want to give the button a chance to improve. I bet 1200 for value and protection. The button could have a piece, or maybe he's sticking around light with 2 high cards if he doesn't believe we're as strong as we are. He calls. It's possible that he has a 10, 9, or overpair. I doubt that he has a flush draw, otherwise there's a good chance that he would have c-bet the flop. The river's the 10 of spades, giving us trips. We're now beating overpairs that the opponent could have checked back the flop with for pot control. This river also makes it easier for us to get called by a hand containing a 9. We have to be a little worried that we're up against a flush, but again, we discounted that earlier. I'm going for the home run. I bet 3,400 for value. If we get called, we're going to be unstuck for the first time in several hours as the game's winding down. The button can't get away from whatever he's got. He calls. We turn over our river trips with the best kicker possible. The opponent shows 7-4 suited for a flush. How do they fucking do it? Jesus Christ. This is a brutal beat and perfect run out for the opponent after he chose a 3-bet 7-4 suited. It's the absolute perfect river card for him to win the maximum and wreck my world. I'm devastated, thinking I was finally about to win a big 5-figure pot at the end of the night to get out of the hole, when I get one more punch to the gut to be down over 10,000. I lost over 42,000 in the previous cash game session, and I take another demoralizing loss tonight. We finish up playing short-handed double board bomb pots, capped at 3K post flop for the remaining down. I lose more money before racking up another significant loss. I started the year with 2 nice high stakes wins. Now I've lost way more in back-to-back sessions. After playing for 8 hours, I lose $14,520. All there is to do now is continue extracting the lessons that I can from the days like this, improve my game, and do my best not to let it affect me in future sessions. It's always easier said than done. I don't have much quit in me, so in the long run, I know getting through tough stretches in poker will only make my game stronger. Some say the best thing in the world is winning money gambling. The second best is losing money gambling. I'm not sure I agree, but I don't mind taking a few beatdowns before my luck changes. Trust me, some big wins are coming.